Hello everyone, and welcome to another informational video for Closed-End Fund Mastery's Super Screener and Interactive Report. For those of you not familiar with Closed-End Fund Mastery focuses on three primary goals: distribution sustainability, long-term appreciation potential, and being well positioned for future distribution increases and special distributions. To get better acquainted with this powerful tool, I have left some useful links in the description below. Now on to the video. In today's video, we're going to take a special look at what is arguably the most powerful, most flexible, and simplistic closed-end fund comparison tool available today. If you've had any experience or history using closed-end fund mastery, you might notice that the fund comparison tool is identical to the closed-end fund mastery super screener, save for the hashtag not applicable error messages which populates the fund comparison tool. This is deliberate so as not to confuse the fund comparison tool with the super screener. The last thing you want to do is start entering ticker symbols on the pivot table on the super screener, creating havoc in your results. The primary purpose for this video is to offer subscribers to my service an incredible time-saving tip when utilizing the fund comparison tool, as well as offering you pointers on how to get more use out of the fund comparison tool more than what you currently are. The Closed-End Fund Mastery Comparison Tool allows you to compare over 60 closed-end funds at once. Now you might be asking, why over 60 closed-end funds? And the simple answer is, why not over 60 closed-end funds? But in all seriousness, as an added benefit to being a subscriber to the Closed-End Fund Mastery Super Screener, when I publish the weekly report, I will often populate the fund comparison tool with a variety of funds. For example, it will include funds that have just reported for the month, or a recent example, all the funds that had just recently changed their distribution for the week, or maybe funds in a specific industry, as you can see here in the MLP sector, and most regularly, closed-end fund mastery qualifying funds. Now, when you're looking for funds to compare, you start out on the super screener by picking your poison. That could be funds with the greatest long-term NAV price change, funds with the highest net investment income to distribution, funds with the biggest discount, or maybe even funds with the highest yield. Now, this is just for illustration purposes. Once you decide on your preferred criteria, you will thoughtfully consider each fund one by one. And when you reach a fund that you see meets your fancy, you will head over to the Fund Comparison tab and enter that fund. You will then head back over to the Super Screener and continue your search. And then when you see another fund that you like, you'll head back over to the Fund Comparison tab and enter that into the Fund Comparison table. This is a very time-consuming endeavor. Okay, now I'm going to show you some really cool tips on how to get the most out of the fund comparison tool for the Closed-End Fund Mastery Screener. I'm going to point out not to focus on the funds that I pick, because that's not what this video is about. This video is about the process. So as I go through this, I don't want you thinking, ew, why did he pick that fund? Because it's not about the fund. Tip number one, and a huge time saver, I'm going to show you how to pick all the funds that you would like to compare without leaving the super screener and then adding them to the fund comparison tool after you've exhausted your search. Now, as we are at the super screener and we begin our search, let's say our preference is funds with the highest net investment income to distribution. And for this, that, and every other thing, you find funds that you like and you find funds that you don't. Now, to pick the funds that we like for later comparison is to take your mouse and highlight the first fund that you like. And then when you see another fund that you like, you hit the Control key on your keyboard and then point and click on your next selection. And then when you find another fund that you like, you hit the Control key and point and click your selection. And then again, and again, and then again. You can see that several funds are selected because they're shaded. And after you go through the entire list and you picked all the funds you think you would like to compare, you could either take your mouse and hit copy, and you'll notice that every fund that you selected has a rotating cursor around each selection. That means it's copied and ready to be pasted elsewhere, which is the fund comparison tool. You could also hit the Control-C keys, which also copies those selections. Now, after you copied your selections, you're going to head over to the fund comparison tool, place your cursor where you want to paste the funds, and you could either hit the paste icon in the ribbon or press Control-V, and there are your funds. But wait, there's more. You selected and compared all the funds that you like that meet the highest net investment income to distribution. You know, you saved so much time on that search. What do you say we take a quick look at the highest yielders? So let's go back to the pivot table. Before we begin our new search, notice that the selections we had in our previous search are still highlighted. First thing you want to do is deselect those, and all you have to do is click on any cell. And while we're at it, this is very, very important. As you find your preferred selections and you hit Control Select, Control Select, Control Select, if at any point you hit Select without hitting Control, you will automatically deselect all your previous selections, wasting all the work that you previously put in. So always be careful to have your finger on that Control key when you select. With that out of the way, let's continue on with our high yield search. Just as before, as you see a fund that you like, select, Control Select, Control Select, Control Select, Control Select, Control Select. When you're finished, Control-C for copy or hit the copy icon in your ribbon, head back to the fund comparison tool, place your cursor, and paste. Now you can go through this process as often as you like. Remember, you can compare over 60 funds at the same time. Now when you're finished finding and comparing all of those funds, even though it didn't take you nearly as long as you thought it would be a shame to waste all that effort. It would be nice to save all this information for future reference. If you notice, I partitioned my two searches separate from one another so as not to get them mixed up together, because they are two unique different searches. And if you were to save this information for future reference, you would want to be able to quickly identify what it is that you're looking at. So a helpful suggestion is, for each unique search, give it a unique identifier. As long as your descriptor is not equal to a closed-end fund ticker, you can individually label each search. Another cool thing that you can do is that after you have the results of your individual searches, you can then pick your favorites among those searches, select, Control Select, Control Select, Control Select, copy, place your cursor, paste, and you have a list of your favorite among favorites. Then click File, Save As, give the file a unique name, see how the funds have performed when you download a future report and you're ready to make another investment. Then at that point, when you open a new report, simply copy all your selections from the previous report and paste them on the Fund Comparison tab in the new report.